I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. We have major breaking developments. I want to register them to take your further commentary on this and those of the guests. My colleague Megha Sharma joining us on the broadcast very shortly on this. We have a statement from the Pakistani, I'm assuming Foreign Office, but from government. This is a written statement. Pakistan has decided to hold all bilateral agreements with India, including but not limited to the Shimla Agreement, in abeyance. I repeat, Pakistan says it is holding the Shimla Agreement in abeyance. Okay, suspending the Shimla Agreement is their response. General Dwivedi, quick reaction. Okay, Megha is with us. Megha, what more do we know? General, I'm coming to you in a second. Megha, can you just read out the whole thing to us? What more do we know?
It's interesting to see that in a knee-jerk reaction, Pakistan comes out and makes a statement. It is decided to halt the Shimla Agreement, suspend the Shimla Agreement, till India desists from its manifested behavior of fomenting terrorism inside Pakistan, transnational killings, and non-adherence to international law and UN resolutions on Kashmir, which is quite laughable, because if this is the reason that Pakistan has been saying that it is going to decide to stop all sort of trade, all sort of transport, border shipment taking place between India and Pakistan, and why has it decided to take this moment after the terror attack that happened yesterday and the action that was taken by the Indian Foreign Ministry, the government of India, deciding to halt the water treaty, the Indus water treaty, degrade the diplomatic ties, ask the diplomats from Pakistan to be removed, ask the Indian nationals, Pakistani nationals from India to be removed. So it's quite laughable that in this knee-jerk reaction, the reasoning given by Pakistan is such.
No, Megha, it's going to become far more absurd. Okay, Siddharth, note this down and get a graphic put on our screens. Let me just identify for you what the consequence of suspending the Shimla Agreement means. The Shimla Agreement, ladies and gentlemen, signed in Shimla to end the 1970 war between Bhutto and Indira Gandhi, was a peace treaty. Okay. Now then, technically, if you suspended the Shimla Agreement, means that the peace signed in July 1972 no longer exists. So I can argue that by the suspension of Shimla Agreement, a state of war already exists between India and Pakistan, because a country has unilaterally suspended a peace treaty. The Shimla Agreement, number 2, brought into force the recognition of the country of Bangladesh. So by suspending the Shimla Agreement, Pakistan has immediately de-recognized the existence of Bangladesh. Number 3, the Shimla Agreement brought into force diplomatically and bilaterally the existence of the line of control. If you suspend the Shimla Agreement, well then guess what? The line of control doesn't exist. We are now free to walk in. I want to know which genius in Pakistan came up with this genius idea. I have just given you 3 consequences of the Shimla Agreement being suspended. 1972 peace treaty no longer in force, which means the peace never happened. Now there is a precedent that exists for this, which is in Korea. There is a ceasefire between the north and south. There is no peace treaty. So technically the countries have been at war for the past 40-50 years. If you suspend the ceasefire, if you suspend the peace treaty of the Shimla Agreement, that's the first, I'm assuming, unintended consequence. The second is the existence of the state of Bangladesh, which according to the Pakistanis no longer exists. And the third is the existence of the LOC, which also according to the Pakistanis now no longer exists. Quick reactions from across the board. General Dwivedi, I interrupted you first, then I see all the others. I see Group Captain Jha also. General Dwivedi.
Yeah, see, Rishabh, I think this is again one of the very childish acts on the part of the Pakistani government, because Shimla Agreement actually had 2-3 very fundamental key issues. Of course, it was a peace agreement, but it was also stated that any difference on our borders, on the line of control, will be actually settled by the dialogue. But Pakistan has violated this agreement repeatedly. After all, 1999, Kargil was one case in point. And secondly, this LOC is violated by the terrorists who come across from Pakistan. So therefore, I think the sanctity of the agreement as it is had been diluted, and this is just only a bravado sort of a act only in response to us. But as you also brought out about the Korean War, in fact, I was defense secretary in North Korea, visited the demilitarized zone number of times. Well, there's a different technical issue because that was the war between multiple countries and North Korea and China. Yes, they have some kind of a demilitarized zone, but that is something like a LOC. But there's no comparison between what North Korean DMZ is and our LOC is. And my final point is, you see, we need to take a very pragmatic look as to what Pakistan is doing.
I'm sorry
Pakistan
to
is wrong.
interrupt the serious discourse you're having, sir, but forgive me, I can't stop laughing because as I go deeper, this is what I remembered from the top of my head about the Shimla Agreement, okay? But as I go deeper, as per the Shimla Agreement, we returned 15,010 square kilometers of land to the Pakistanis. So if you suspend the Shimla Agreement, well, that land is back to us. I'm sorry, I'm not processing this very rapidly.
Absolutely, that means the status quo that existed before the Shimla Agreement.
Does this also mean that they returned the 96,000 POWs, including Niazi?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, unfortunately, he's no longer in this world, but